Barrett, have I ever done a video without my hat?
I don't know, Dad.
I think it would be, I think you'd have to search really hard. So, anyway. It's such a, Barrett brought up something. I was watching a video while I was waiting on him. Actually, I wasn't watching it. I had it playing. Pharaoh is one of my favorite YouTubers. He's a backpacker, and he's been all over the San Gabriel Mountains. I mean, he's like the local expert. But anyway, his videos are cool because you can just like turn them on, and I can lay the phone down on the thing here and just listen as I'm driving, and that's how cool he's very descriptive. So
that's cool.
And of course the San Gabriel Mountains are kind of, they're kind of dull, they're kind of deserty. They all, everything looks the same, so it's not like you're missing a lot in the video. I don't mean that as a criticism. I'm saying that his videos are entertaining beyond that. So anyway, why I brought that up, I don't know. But anyway, Barry got in the truck, and oh, I know why I said it, because the audio part of the video was still playing, but the video part was frozen. And of course I didn't know it because it was laying on the console thing here. I was just listening, but it was, he does these really long videos, and I think that's probably Verizon. I was kidding and was talking about Verizon throttling my bandwidth. And I know we're getting close. What Verizon does is, even on their unlimited service, once you get to, I think it's 22 gigabytes or something, they start throttling it. Now, here's the thing. Barrett was like, well, I know net neutrality got repealed or whatever. What did you say?
Yeah.
And I said, we've been going on back and forth about this for a long time. I realized the other day I have a video that's like 2 years old, and I have another one that's like 3 years old on net neutrality. Because I've been following this ever since they started talking about it. And of course, the original legislation went into effect in 2015, and of course, nobody died during that time, and nobody's died yet of the internet sickness, although they could. But the point I was trying to make to Barry is that companies weren't just sitting with a big evil plan to enact whenever if the legislation were to be repealed, or if it was a regulation, really is what it was, that the FCC repealed or rolled back, whatever. So, and then we got into the discussion. I asked him, I said, in your business, do you figure out ways to, limit your customers' options? And, do you figure out how to keep your schedule to, no, right? You see what you can do to improve your business and the services you can offer, because it's competitive, right? You're competing against Music Instruction Studio and Fireball Music and other people now who've gotten into it privately. And you need to be competitive, right? Yep. The only way you can do that is to offer better service. And, you're not an evil corporation. That's not how you make money. And these idiots who think that corporations just make money out of the air, like it grows on a tree somewhere in a warehouse, and then they just go collect it. And they're just dumb. The internet has created a bunch of idiots as far as economics, and as far as understanding capitalism and economics, okay? Or the public school system has created them, because, obviously the public school system does not teach properly about capitalism and free markets. So that's the whole point I was trying to make in the beginning, 3 years ago, that, businesses will always try to offer the best service they can to get more customers, to make more money. That's the whole point. And there was no lobby, all you had to do was look and see who was for it. If all that was for it was a bunch of liberal Democrats, then you knew something was wrong. They just want control. That's the modus operandi or whatever, you know, of that sector of politics. They want control over everything. You know, it's just like the coolest thing about the tax bill yesterday that was passed was the rollback, the mandate of Obamacare. That was the greatest thing in that whole tax bill, was besides opening up the drilling in Alaska, which will bring down gas prices once the market is flooded with more. They probably won't do that. They won't allow it to be flooded too much. You know, they'll control gas prices a little bit by not flooding the market with excess oil. But yeah, let some fresh air in. I had the heat on too long. It's getting hot in here. But anyway, I haven't heard of any catastrophes since the internet still works, and right?
Yeah.
Honestly, I've gotten almost tired. If people haven't noticed, I haven't made many videos lately. I'm kind of almost tired of humoring YouTube with my content, really. There's so many people on there who bash. Yeah, honestly, they just bash to bash. You know, I don't know if they're depressed or what's wrong with them, but it's not fun anymore. You know, it's not fun being in an atmosphere where people hate all the time. You know, when I first started on YouTube 11 years ago or whatever it is now, it was more fun. You know, there were real communities. The community aspect of YouTube went away when Google bought it. That's exactly, you can tie that to there's a direct correlation. Anyway, do you have any comments, Barrett? I know it's early in the morning. Yeah. Barrett never knows when I'm going to do a video. But I think it's funny. Every young person ought to start a small business. You know, most of them will fail, but they just should do it anyway, so they can understand, you know, profit and loss and overhead, cost, you know, capital, investment, you know, all that stuff. Payroll taxes, which I hate. Workman's comp, general liability insurance. Found my hat. You don't want me to make my robot wife joke. You don't like it.
It's funny, I guess.
I dropped the phone and magically I came back with my hat on. No, all I was going to add is that, you know how in some countries like Germany and Israel, there's mandatory, I think it's 1 or 2 years of military service. That should be, in the United States, it should be when you turn 18, you have to create an escort or an LLC for 2 years. Even if you have another job, you should be required to run your own business for 2 years. That would actually help our country more than having a mandatory military service. So, what you think?
I had to think about that one.
No, you don't have to think about it. Just do it. Too much thinking going on. Anyway, we're headed to the job. And what do we do for Christmas?
Going to your
Did
house.
you bring those cookies? Barrett got some of his students gave him some cookies the other day.
I lucked out this year, man. I got all kinds of stuff. Gift cards.
And I was like, you better bring those. Of course, Barrett knows I'm trying to lose weight, so he's a good son, didn't bring them. Because I would have gobbled them up. No, honestly, I don't like those sugar cookies that much because they're mostly sugar.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
and there's hardly any cookie there. So anyways, this video ever going to end? I guess it's just going to have to be one of those things where I just push this button.
Self-destruct.